Welcome back to another episode of Bromance. I'm Ryan, and today, boys, we did it again. We had two girls on the pod. We had Lou and Ashley Elder. We did a general interview. We did a recap of nationals, and then we had questions from people. That is it. Hope everyone enjoys. Welcome back to another episode of Bromance. I'm Ryan, and today I got out with me two goats, Louanne and Ashley. Ladies, how we doing?
Hello. We're good.
Yeah, doing good.
How's your Friday going?
Just got so much better because I'm on this call with you guys.
Okay, Ashley, you got any plans tonight, or?
You know what? I got a volleyball game after this to watch. Might play some pickup. I just learned volleyball recently, so that's been my new little thing. So we'll see how that goes.
I got two sports that I will never play in my life: kickball and volleyball.
Ah. All right. That's fair.
I feel like I have really weak hands and wrists, and I would just get fucked up immediately.
Have you played either of them?
Yes, and I'm actually, I think, pretty good at it, but I just don't have fun playing it.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
How about you, Louanne? Do you have any plans for the weekend?
Yeah, I have a birthday party. I'm a big fantasy football fan, and I like to watch most NFL games most weekends. So I'll be doing that. Birthday party is to go out and watch all the football games. So I just get excited for football season.
Same. Did you have any bad week one losses or?
Well, I'm in 4 fantasy leagues, which is crazy, I know. And I went 3-1. So I'm overall pretty happy. And I ironically think my best team is the one that lost. So I think I'm in a good spot.
Nice. So I am in 5. Two of them are it's dynasty and it's like a rebuilding thing. So I don't really care about those two. But I'm in a family league, and my wife beat me by exactly 1 point. And in another league, I lost by 0.7.
That's rough.
That is rough. That is rough.
So I am looking forward to week 2, but it'll be a good weekend. Speaking about football, though, let's get into our draft. So today we will be drafting teams that we think will win the Super Bowl. Are we ready?
Let's do this. This is what I was made to do.
All right. So since you guys are my guest, I will go last. We'll do a 3-round snake draft. Who wants to go first?
I'll give it to Ashley.
Ooh, Lou. All right. So I'm clearly mentioning my first pick right here, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. This better not get me hate. We're gonna go. We're gonna go Cowboys. Let's do it.
I don't think either of us were going to pick that.
That's why I was okay giving her that first pick.
Yeah, you got it, Ashley.
Yeah, right. Solid round.
This is our year for sure.
That's like when someone drafts a kicker early. Like, what?
Oof.
Yeah, more power to you.
Yeah, so after that, I'm taking the Bills. I think this is going to be a Bills year. I think Chiefs are weak receivers. I don't know. I think Bills' time is now.
If the Eagles don't win it, I will be rooting for the Bills.
Nice. So is that your pick?
My pick, yeah. So my first pick will be the Eagles. Go Birds. Big Birds fan. The story behind me being a Birds fan, I get asked this a lot living in Connecticut. So the Eagles played the Patriots in 2003, I think, in the Super Bowl. And my dad is a big Patriots fan. So I had to root against them as an 8-year-old child. And that's been my team ever since. So
I love that. That's why I'm a Cowboys fan, because my dad's a big Cowboys fan. He's got the merch, he's got a hat. Every time you see him, he's wearing some sort of Cowboys piece of gear. So I'm like, you know what? Might as well just absorb that. But I didn't go opposite. I went with him. So
okay. That makes more sense.
So, all right. Oh,
And
I
then, no, my follow. So my second pick will be, I will go Detroit Lions because a lot of my family is from Detroit, so I'll go Lions with my second pick.
nice.
Nice. That's not who I thought you were gonna pick. But because I'm a fan, I'm gonna have to on my second pick be a little bit less realistic after the Bills and go Steelers because I'm from Pittsburgh and they had a pretty good showing week one. Well, yeah, we'll see what Aaron Rodgers can do. He's old, but threw 4 touchdowns, so we'll see.
That was a little surprising. Like when I was watching that game, I had the Steelers defense and they gave up like what 30 points to the Jets.
Yeah, that's definitely concerning because we're like, I think we have the number one most expensive defense in the league, and we were always known for defense. So defense definitely didn't come out to play that day, especially against the Jets, who's like, no one would pick them as having a particularly strong offense. So concerning, but if that cleans up, like, when's the last time Steelers had a 4 touchdown game and multiple field goals?
Ben Roethlisberger sometime.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Do you think that DK is going to have like a big revenge game this weekend?
Um, I actually didn't even think about that. Maybe, yeah. I mean, I think he's a solid number one target. There's a rumor that we're trying to trade for Tyreek Hill too, so that could be like wild if that happens. We'll see.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Same.
All right, Ashley, you got your second and then your last pick right here.
All right, all right. Lou, can you remind me who did you pick for your first again?
Bills.
All right, all right. I'm gonna go Chiefs. I'm gonna go Chiefs, and then I'm gonna end on the Ravens.
Good pick.
Yep, yep.
Hmm.
I was thinking about picking Ravens just because they're coming from that side of the bracket. Like the Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens always run into each other.
Yep.
So I figured let me take the other side of the bracket.
All right, all right.
Yeah, I almost said Ravens, but as a Steeler fan, I couldn't pick Ravens over Steelers second. Um, so I think those are the true contenders. I guess Green Bay was off to a good start because they beat the Lions. But also, I like Tampa Bay. I like Baker Mayfield, but cheering
Mm,
him on because a little bit of a rough start, bounced around a couple teams. I think he's so solid. Um, so I'll go Tampa Bay just because I like them more.
that's a really solid pick. All right. And my last pick, I didn't give this one too much thought. Um, I will go Bengals because I want them to have a better season. And I think last year their defense sucked, and I think they lost 4 or 5 games while scoring 30 points, which is very hard to do. So I think if they can tighten up their defense a little bit, um, I can see them going back to the Super Bowl because they were in the Super Bowl like 3 years ago.
Solid pick. Love Joey B's style.
Yeah, love Joe Burrow. But yeah, that's our draft. Comment down below. So this is pretty much just Garrett and Dan on the last episode commented who we thought won the draft. So comment down below who you guys think won. And with that, let's go into our general interview. So I will give everyone the rundown. So we'll do general interview, then we will do a recap from nationals, even though it was a few weeks ago. And then we will do questions from the people, and there is a lot. So just a heads up.
Let's do it.
All right. First question. We will go Ashley first. How did you get into dodgeball?
Yeah. So back in like April of 2021, McKenna Trunk, McKenna Ryan, she shared this post on Instagram, and it was like this YMCA like dodgeball like league that was starting up in Middletown at the time. So I like slid up on her story, and I'm like, dodgeball, like what is this? So she gave me all the details, and I literally pulled up. It was like that same week or that next week. and I showed up. And that was the first time I met Sean. It was like me, Sean, Greg, Terrell, and then a few of the other like OG like members. And we played foam. It was like I think it was like the 7-inch balls. It was very unique, but I absolutely loved it. And that's when Sean kind of took that and took all the people and created Nutmeg like shortly after that. So that's just how I got into dodgeball, and I've been doing it ever since.
So this was pre-Nutmeg. This was like the Middletown Rec program before Sean took it over.
Yeah, right at the YMCA. Yeah, so it was very, very like mainstream. It was kind of like it kind of reminds me of like Spark or like not as big as Waka, but it was a completely different population of people. So like the people that we play with now, like they were non-existent at the time. So it was a lot of just OG people. I don't know if you remember like Ashley. Um, who's the guy? He had like gauges in his ear. I can't remember him, but it
I
was a few of
think
the
Byron
OG.
and Emma also played in that, if I remember correctly.
I think so. Yeah, 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 I think so. So yeah, it was very, very low key, but yeah, Sean took that and ran with it and created Nutmeg right after. So.
How about you, Lou?
Um, I started playing in Pittsburgh in the Stonewall League in like 2019-ish. It wasn't a competitive league, and it wasn't until I moved to Los Angeles and then after COVID, there was a dodgeball league I decided to join just recreationally to meet people. That was in 2021, and I had no idea any of this existed, but I very luckily got put as a free agent on the same team as Glenn and Elisa, and they explained the whole deal to me, like how it all works, and I just was like really excited to jump into it. And it's really funny because I remember that conversation with Glenn when I was just this like nobody first playing for the first time in LA. He told me about how like he takes it so seriously and there's a world championship every year, and he's like, I work out specifically for dodgeball to get better at dodgeball. And at the time I was like, okay, bro. um, no, I like really value everything he said to me in that conversation. It's just really funny because that was 4 years ago that I work out for dodgeball. Um, yeah, so that's my story.
Love to hear it. So before, obviously we're recording right now, but before this, I listened back to the Rushdown pod where you ladies were on, and I heard that you started playing in 2019, and I was like, "Yo, that's crazy," because you've gone to two worlds since then.
Yeah, it was crazy because like when I started playing in LA in late 2021, like that's when I really learned about everything. And I just tried to go to as many rounds as humanly possible to like soak it all in and get like as good as I could really fast. Um, and yeah, just it worked out. But I mean, I go to a lot of rounds too, so that helps you get better if you play a lot.
That's true. My next question: how long have you been playing dodgeball? We'll start with Ashley first.
Yeah, so I've been playing for about 4 years in general, and then competitively for 3 years. So when Sean started Nutmeg, he like put me on his team, which he usually does with a lot of free agent players, and instantly taught me like everything that I knew. And I think like after that season, he was like, "You have like potential. Like you should come to a USA dodgeball round." And I'm like, "All right." So I think it was 2022, so maybe about a year after that, he got me in. I got the travel bug, and I had my first USA round. It was a Boston round. So that was my first ever like competitive time. So yeah, about 3 years ago.
I think your first round in Boston was also a lot of other people's because I think that year we brought up a Nutmeg team and our team name was just Shane, like one of the players on our team. But yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize that. So like I remember for that round, it was like myself, Nate, Dakota, Greg, Mike Heber, Alex, I think we snuck in someone else too, but I didn't realize that that was also your first round.
Yeah, yeah. I played on Kill the Comp. Um, so I
I do remember
had
this now. I do remember this now.
Yeah, yeah. It was actually so much fun. That was the first time I met like everyone, like Dylan, Quan, it was Sean, um, Drew Javenko, his now wife. That was my first time meeting all of them. And that was like the moment I was like, oh, this is real dodgeball. Like this is dodgeball. So yeah, it was fun from the start, and ever since then I've been hooked. So
That is a crazy team for like your first team for a tournament.
oh yeah, I remember not. I feel like I didn't really contribute much. Like I still was like still learning, so I knew I was good for my arm, but like defensively, I just wasn't there yet. So I remember like we were playing, and honestly, our finals, we went to finals, and we played against like Anarchy, and I remember getting lit up by Anarchy, just lit, and I'm like, oh man, like I got a lot to learn here.
No,
But
I actually remember that round too. I was there, and I remember meeting you specifically, Ashley, um, and just so blown away by just pure athleticism from day one. But I'll never forget. I like offered um, maybe like feedback or advice because you were really new, and some people don't love that. I guess also looking back, that's weird. I was still kind of new at the time too. But anyways, so you were so appreciative. You were like, you know what? I just want to be a sponge. I want to soak in every single thing anyone tells me and just learn and take it all in and grow from here. And I thought that was like the most awesome answer of like someone who came in like super talented already, but also want to like take the time to hear what people say and like soak it all in and grow. I thought that was awesome. I was like, I need to get this girl on my team from that moment on.
oh yeah, I remember that too, Lou. I remember that for sure.
I'm definitely glad that you started traveling because knowing that you were a college athlete, I was like, she's just gonna go to one tournament, she's gonna get the bug immediately, and it's just gonna snowball from there.
Yep. Yep, and that's exactly what happened. I That first year, I'm like, I was free agenting, I was hopping around, I didn't care where I was going. I'm like, I'm gonna play this sport. So it's been addicting ever since.
Yeah, same. Remember those days?
Oh yeah.
Lou, how long have you been playing dodgeball, and do you remember your first tournament?
Um, so competitively since like late 2021, um, I do remember my first tournament. Um, it was funny enough. The it was the combine round to get scouted to be on the practice squad for Edmonton. There was one in Vegas that year and one in Erie that year. And I went to Erie just as a free agent and was put on a random team with other free agents. And that was the tournament where I got scouted to be on the practice squad for Edmonton. And that was my first tournament.
That's wild. That's actually crazy.
That is wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of wild. Um, but yeah, kind of awesome too.
Balled out as a free agent at your first tournament, and then they're like, "Yeah, let's take her to Edmonton with us."
Let's get this girl. Let's get her. Yep.
That's
Sign her up.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, still had a lot to learn at the time. You know, I needed to soak it all in, like what you said, Ash. But yeah, as soon as I started playing, I couldn't get enough. I went to as many tournaments as I possibly could.
My next question, let's start with Ashley. How often do you play dodgeball, and where do you get to play?
So I play a minimum of once a week. So Nutmeg has dodgeball typically on Wednesdays. We just found out recently that we're going to be expanding to Mondays as well. So usually it'll be the Mondays and Wednesdays now, and then time we can go to a tournament. So whether it's USA tournaments or whether it's a local tournament, I feel like this summer there's been something literally every single weekend. So usually it's pretty busy on the weekends for sure, but minimum once.
How about you, Lou?
Um, yeah, about the same, maybe a bit more. You can play in a league any night of the week here in LA. At one point, I was technically in leagues 3 nights a week, but there's been so many tournaments and stuff that I don't go all the time. Um, Currently, I'm supposed to be playing twice a week, but there's been a little bit of off weeks post nationals. So I'd say more often than not, twice a week.
What's the ball type out there? Like, I know that I feel like all three are pretty popular, but like, what do you prefer when you go out there and play in these leagues?
There's a lot more cloth or foam leagues out here than cloth, but there's a ton of people on the cloth practice squad, men and women's. So we get together and have practices with all of the people on the practice squad Thursdays, and that's really really helpful too. But it's a lot easier to play in multiple foam leagues out here than a cloth league.
What are some players, or who are some players that you get to play against? So, like, the people that I know that live out there are like Xander and like Dan Alport.
Yep, they play in the leagues. Pyan, Sean Wheeler is out here now. A lot of the Protect Your Neck boys, that whole team is out here. Kind of blanking, but there's a lot of women too. Karina, Bree, Kate Gong,
Nice.
Kiara. So just to name a few, is solid handful of players here.
Those are some pretty good players to get to play against every week.
For sure. My very first game, I remember Marshall like rocked me in the face, just square on with the ball, and yeah, that was a big wake up call. Like, welcome to dodgeball.
This is a cloth ball.
Um, I'm pretty sure it was No Sting was the first
Oh,
league I signed up to play. Yeah, it was like it was right after COVID, so it was an outdoor league. We were playing in a park like at night, and there were lights on, and yeah, just right square in the face was my welcome to dodgeball moment.
this is like Alan when new players come to nothing.
Yeah, no, it's tradition. You're not really a nutmeg until you get hit by a ball by out.
When we played on Wednesday against Amanda, I'm like, Amanda. And then Alan's like, Amanda. And I'm like, we're talking about you, Alan.
Oh man. Yep. Yep. Nope. That's Alan for sure. Love you, Alan, if you're listening to this, but
How about you, Ashley?
um for
I actually don't think I asked a question. I think Lou was the second part of that question.
okay.
Let's move on to the next question. That's on me. My next question. What is your favorite dodgeball memory to date?
Ooh. Lou, you might know this one, but this was December of 2023. It was the
I
North
do.
American and Caribbean Championships, and it was my USA rookie debut. And I remember this match. Well, I didn't play the first half of the game. We were playing against Canada for the gold medal match. And so Nina, my coach at the time, she's like, "Hey, like you're probably not gonna play the first half, but we're gonna start you the second half." And I'm like, "All right, bet." So we start the second half. We have a nice lead on Canada, and so I'm starting for the first half, and we're in the match, and our players are kind of going down one by one. I think it was Tiff first, and then kind of so on and so forth. And at one point, it's me and Tiff, and then three other Canadian players. Tiff goes for a counter, and then she gets countered, she gets hit, and now it's me versus three Canadian players on the clock. So I think there's like maybe a minute left, and at this point, it's like, all right, like let's see what we can do here. So I have the ball and I get one player out, so immediately it's a 1v2. I rush back, another player comes in, she tries to throw the ball, she throws, I dodge, she misses. I push at her, I hit her legs, she's out. Now it's a 1v1. In my mind, it's just pure adrenaline going. I'm like, oh man, like, all right, let's see if we can finish this. The other player on Canada has to throw. So she gets the ball, she charges up, she throws, she misses. I grab a ball, And at this point, I'm charging at her full force. I throw it at her, I hit her, I get her out. So I close out the 1v3. And I just remember like you guys know me, you know how hype I get. Like I just remember in my mind, I'm like, oh shoot, like I did that. I turn around to my team's running up on the court. I'm like, but that was probably my favorite hands down memory to date because to me that felt like I found my place on like Team USA. Like that was like my welcome to Team USA moment. I felt like in that moment I was able to prove myself as a valuable player and an asset on the court. And like I said, I didn't play that first half, but coming in, I was ready to go and was able to close that game out. So that meant the world to me, and I think about that from time to time. Because it's just one of my favorite memories. So that's my memory.
There was multiple games where you popped off at nationals, but there was one game where you popped off and everyone went and they like huddled around you and you were giving everyone high fives. And I was like, ooh, I would hate to be those girls.
I am built. I feel so bad now because it's getting to a point where people are like, please don't, So now I have to figure out, like, maybe I'll give
Ashley
some
high
knuckles.
fives so hard to the point where like I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to throw well the next game because she high fives my hand so
I'm
hard sometimes.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Lou, you got to put your left hand out. That's what I do. If I know someone's going to like destroy my right hand, I'm like, here you go, high five.
Yeah,
Or the
I
back of the hand.
definitely need to start doing that.
I'm
I
working
mean,
on it.
the hype you get is so awesome. It's infectious. Like definitely it carries through the team. Like I want the high five. But like yeah, I need to start going left hand because I can't it's painful.
Maybe air high fives.
Maybe, but I need something. I need to release the energy. If I can run through a
Yeah.
wall sometimes, I would run through a wall.
I remember that moment you're talking about though in that game, and that was it was such a good moment. I got chills whenever you were recapping.
Yeah, that was favorite for sure. It was between that one and then the in Long Island when I had that stream
Yes.
catch.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yes.
So we're playing in Long Island, Lou, and it's like the do or die game. And I don't remember if it was Ashley against more than just one person.
It was two. It was two people at the time.
So I just remember the end. So Alex from Boston comes up and he throws the ball at Ashley. And as the ball is coming towards Ashley, it's like 6 feet away from her. She starts screaming because she knows she's going to catch the ball. And she catches the ball and we're all around her and we start jumping up and down. And we're like, USA, USA, USA.
That was like right when I made the practice squad too. But I think it was like Alex or something. They were like, Ash, like, don't give up the ball. And I'm gonna get a catch here. And so I planned it. So that's why I had to scream because I knew as soon as he released it, I'm like, this is the catch right here. So that was another hype moment for sure. For sure, hands down.
Hell yeah. How about you, Lou?
Really cool dodgeball moment for me. I don't really get nearly as amped as Ashley whenever I do something cool. But I'd say in Austria last year in our game to determine fifth and sixth place, we were playing against Italy. We tied them previously in round robin, but it was the very last set. It was a tie game, last set of the match. So winner of that got fifth place. And it was me and Becca. It was a 2v3 situation. And we just closed it out in this bang, bang, bang sequence. And it was pretty awesome. As the three of them approached us, I did a pre-counter, took someone out. I think this girl looked over and like gasped at that hit. And then Becca took that opportunity to then pre-counter that girl when she looked away. And then the middle person kind of like panicked and threw at Becca and Becca caught it. And like our whole team rushed on the court. Obviously fifth place isn't, a gold medal like everyone wanted, but women's cloth is still relatively new in the US. And that was a really big game, really exciting moment for all of us. And it was really awesome.
I remember that. We went crazy. We stormed the court after that. That fifth felt like first. It felt like first.
I was listening back to that episode 2 and I heard in that series that there was like a weird call with a ref that took a while because like someone they thought didn't throw, so someone was like out on your side, if I remember correctly, or maybe that was a series before that.
I actually don't remember that, but I have a really bad memory, so I feel like I only remember key things.
I think it was like something where 2 balls were supposed to go over, and the refs thought there was one, so they called someone out on your side. But maybe I'm misremembering.
Definitely could have also happened, and I just don't remember that the end just trumped everything else that happened that game.
Yeah.
For me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to the next question. So Lou, I think you kind of already answered this, but maybe you have another story. So have you had a welcome to dodgeball moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because my first thought goes to when Marshall hit me in the face with a ball. I mean, not on purpose, obviously, but that was like that's where my head goes of like, welcome to dodgeball, pow. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything that stands out. I just feel like I went to a lot of rounds and just kept learning, playing on a different bunch of different teams, and like, I don't know that I have a moment like Ashley does that really stands out to me.
How about you, Ashley?
This is like a positive welcome to dodgeball moment, or like a ooh, like welcome to dodgeball.
Did Alan also hit you in the face?
Yo, yeah. So I listen when I well, you too. You hit me in the face too. I used to wear regular
This
glasses.
is gonna come up. I knew this was gonna come up.
I used to wear regular glasses before I got my goggles. So that's my welcome to dodgeball moment. It took me 3 hits to the face before I realized I should not be wearing glasses when I play dodgeball. Ryan, I'm a victim from you. I'm a victim from Alan. And then I remember going to Atlantic City wearing my glasses. I can't remember who threw this ball, but my glasses, I'm on the court and they went flying off to the sidelines. And at that point, I said to myself, I can't do this anymore. Like I need glasses or goggles. So I think for me, like that's my welcome to dodgeball. Like no more glasses. Get the goggles, own them. You know, I don't wear contacts, so the goggles is what
Your,
they are.
your goggles are like a staple now. I don't know. It's
I
so good. It's the end of the game. All
oh
Yeah,
serious. Put 'em on your
any
forehead.
moment. Oh yeah. If
like a
I'm
Mark
mad,
Stoudemire.
goggles off.
There's every once in a while we'll be lined up like before the game starts, foot on the back line, and I look over to the left and I'm like, Ash, put your goggle, put them on.
Put them
Lock
on in
in.
like slow motion. I'm like.
No, it looks pretty cool though. Like when the game starts and you put them on, I'm like, oh, she's locked the fuck in.
Yep, I'm locked in. Or if I throw a catch or something, they go. And sometimes I'll do it so hard they'll just fly off. But yeah, no, those goggles, I own it. You know, I don't care. I look like a bug out there, but I don't care.
I feel bad about that throw. So I remember it was like a far side counter from me that I threw at you. And I wasn't even like worried about after I threw that ball. I just looked forward. And then I look back over and like your glasses are on the ground. I'm like, uh-oh. And I felt terrible.
Hey, Ryan, it's a part of my identity now, so it's not that bad.
Okay. Do you have a positive welcome to dodgeball moment?
Um, Honestly, probably just the ones that we discussed, like those matches where you know the game we were able to change the game at the end, like the US match that I mentioned, or like our Long Island match. Like just those moments when you're able to kind of like close out on a big game, I'll say is like a really good like welcome to dodgeball moment. So
How about you, Lou?
um, yeah, I don't know if anything really stands out to me. I guess making that first USA team was a pretty cool, like this is serious, like kind of moment for me. Or
Okay.
when I first started, I was new in just free agenting on a bunch of teams because I didn't have a team yet. My first year, Invasion asked me to join their team, and that's pretty awesome. Like, I'll always be really appreciative of that because they like took a chance on me when I was new. And Invasion's like a really well-known, great team. So for a team of that caliber to ask me to join was a really cool moment for me when I was like a newer player too.
They've been a team for a long time. I kind of learned about that at Nationals.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time, and they might not have. Oh wait, never mind with that comment. They did win. They won no sting with
With
me.
you.
And then,
Yeah.
but they were the only team that was in all three women's finals. So I think that that's really cool for them.
I, I was going through and doing my homework, and I remember Ashley playing on Empire for no sting. And then I'm like, well, I know that they didn't win, so who won? And I'm like, Invasion. And I'm looking at the picture. I'm like, oh shit, Lou was on Invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because in our round robin game, me and Ashley made a pact to not throw at each other. Which I a little bit regretted because there was a moment in our round robin game when she was like on the ground, like
I was
dead.
right in front of you.
She's right in front of me, and I held up because I was like, I'm not gonna do it. We made this pact. Um, there's another time in the game when Katie Sanchez called me and someone else to throw at 4, which was Ashley, and I was like, oh no, and I just hit 5 instead. She doesn't know I did that. I was a really bad teammate in that moment. But whenever it was finals before the game, I was like, no more pact.
Bets are
Absolutely.
off.
Like this bets off. This is gonna be serious.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's like for semi-pro, Ashley, like when Nate is playing or when we're playing Amanda's team, and I'm like, Nate, kill 3, and it's Amanda, and he's like throwing like 2 feet in front of her. I'm like, Nate, hit her! Come on, let's go.
He's like, I'm not walking home.
This is a husband and wife, Lou.
No.
But that kind of leads into my next question. So my next question is, what was the path to your current team you play on? Let's start with Ashley.
Yeah, so like we talked about it earlier, but my first year of like competitive dodgeball, I literally free agented from team to team to team. And I remember this was the Austin round actually. And I remember I was playing on Katie Foreman's team. And I remember Lou, Sam Hutter, Tiff, like all of them, they were still LFG. And I remember like Lou was like who are you? Like you're really good. Like I just remember like her saying some like really positive and encouraging things. And also, I don't know if you guys know Emily Grapes, but Emily Grapes was there too, and she was another person that like I met for the first time, and she drew me into her mixed team as well. But I like remember like after that, Lou like reaching out about Flex and wanting to put together like that team. But like for that first year, any team that would kind of take me on, I was just trying to, hop onto. And it didn't matter if I was winning, if I was losing, like I just wanted the experience and like just wanted to play. But like after that season, Lou gave me a little home. So it was nice.
I remember when I was putting together Flex, obviously I was going to recruit Ashley, try to get Ashley on it. But I remember we had a phone conversation or two, and you said that you were recruited by 4 other teams as well that season, right after your rookie season. So didn't know which direction you were going to go, but was real pumped with the decision you made. And yeah, still working out today. So yay.
How about you, Lou? How was Flex created, I guess?
Flex was created because I was on the USA cloth team, and I really wanted a team that was primarily made up of cloth players. Because after playing at Worlds and seeing some of those teams, like seeing how Austria, how well they played in sync together, I was like, we're never going to be able to compare to a team like that if we're all playing on all of our individual teams spread out and then we get like 1 or 2 practices before Worlds. And I was like, so I want a team of primarily cloth players so we can get used to each other and start to build up that like, team chemistry so then it would then flow into Team USA and show better at the Worlds level. So that was like my thought process of how that started.
It's really smart because, like you said, you only get 1 or 2 practices before you go to Worlds, and these teams get to play. You mentioned it on the pod. There was a team, I think it was like Australia, that played for like 10 years together.
Yeah, Austria, I think, and yeah, they've because the smaller country, they all live a lot closer. They've played for like 10 years together. I think a lot of them do like workouts together and stuff. So they're just like a unit, and we're all spread out all over the place. But like I do feel a lot more chemistry with the players on my team. I mean, anyone would, but yeah, that was my thought process to the team.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We'll talk about it later on, but I do want to mention this now. So I knew of Anna on Flex, but in one of those finals, she popped off. And I always knew her as Dan's girlfriend, but I felt like Shaq with that meme where it's like I wasn't familiar with your game. She popped off.
Yeah, I think it was the foam final against Invasion. She had two really, really key catches that game. Um, she also had this insane catch in our Fang game
Oh
earlier
yeah.
that day. Our quarterfinal game against Fang was insane. It went to overtime, and but well, before the overtime game, we were losing 1-2, and we needed to close out the no sting within the time limit to even get to another game. Time was running out. You know, if we don't win the no sting game in the amount of time, it just doesn't count. So it was one of those moments where if the ball's anywhere around you, you just need to go for it. And someone countered at Bree. She has this diving catch behind Bree to make the catch, and that was like a really big reason we were able to close out that game and then take it to the next game. So yeah, she had an awesome tournament.
Crazy. Let's go into the next question. So, do you guys have any hobbies other than dodgeball? Let's start with Lou on this one.
Huh. I mean, I like all sports, like fantasy football. I already talked about that so far. I played kickball for a lot of years too. A fun fact is that every Sin City I play kickball and not dodgeball. So yeah, it's fun because I get to see all my kickball friends, and now I know kickball people from all over the country, but I also get to see my dodgeball friends at the same time.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and I played college softball, so I still like playing softball every now and then. I'm not in a league anymore, but used to be. And big video game nerd, board game nerd. So yeah, that's what I'm into.
How about you, Ashley?
I am also into video games. I got a setup. I have a gaming chair, a gaming headset, the whole nine. Definitely do that whenever I can after like a long day at work or something. If I'm not doing that, I like to lift. I used to have a powerlifting background, so I love trying to get to the gym and see how heavy I can lift once in a while. So if I got it still. And then I did pick up kickball. I'm not very good at it, but I'm there for the vibes. So so that's all that matters.
I will say that kickball, not playing, but like the activities before and after, like the grilling and people like tailgating and stuff, that looks fun.
It is.
Um, but yeah, you guys both mentioned you guys like playing video games. Top three video games.
Ooh. Ooh, you want to start or I'll go?
Yeah, and I have a feeling mine are going to be so much more nerdy than your games. Top three, Kingdom Hearts. Love that game. And Elden Ring and The Witcher. Think of
I'm
my
gonna tell
top.
you something. I bought Elden Ring and that game pissed me off so bad. I did not even come close to finishing that game. So good for
Uh,
you. You'll have to teach me your ways because I bought it and I got maybe like 12% into the game. It was rough. It's hard. It's a hard
it's
game.
hard. It's
Yeah.
like the hardest video game. I think I'm like 300 hours into Elden Ring right now or something
Wow.
ridiculous.
Wow. Good for you. Teach me your
What
ways. For me, I'm a very mainstream. So Call of Duty, Fortnite, Fall Guys. I love a good like co-op game. So like Split Fiction I played and that was really fun. Um, yeah, those are the games I play.
I'm not a very big video game person. I used to play a lot of video games back in the day, but I am like way too addicted to it. So I literally had to get it out of the house. But yeah, back in my day, I was known to like polish off a Twisted Tea case and then play some Fortnite.
Was that builds or no builds?
So I used to be nasty at builds, but when they got rid of builds for like that like 2 week span, I'm like, fuck this. Like this is stupid. This is like PUBG. I'm not playing this shit. And then I started playing it because like I had to itch to play, obviously. And I'm like, yo, this is like a whole new game because you got to strategize.
Yep.
So when they brought back builds, I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm done playing builds.
Yeah, I don't touch builds. The minute I pull my gun out and I see a whole like mansion in front of me, I'm like, all right, you already won. You have height. Like clearly there's a disadvantage here, and I don't play PC, so I don't have that like quick ability. But no build, that's where it's at. That's where it's
Okay, okay. I
at.
haven't played in probably like 3 years. That's when I started like working out and taking dodgeball a lot more serious. But
Yeah.
I think I probably have like 2,500 ones, like a insane amount. Like I played way too much.
Jeez. Especially, did you play during COVID too?
Yeah, but honestly, I'd say during COVID, a lot of people stayed home. But for
Yeah.
me personally, like I was working like 55 hours a week. So
Oh
like that
wow.
was insanely busy for me.
Okay.
Um, Let me ask my next question, and then I'm going to mute myself because Caden is screaming his head off. So you guys have a background in college sports. Let's talk about that. So Lou, you played softball,
Yeah, I was a pitcher.
and this was Pittsburgh, or
Yeah, I went to school in Western Pennsylvania, Seton Hill University. I
okay.
pitched. All of our games were double headers, and I always, well, usually pitched the first game and played first base the second game. Um, and I was a pitcher that batted because that's important.
Do they not normally bat in college softball?
Oh, there's a lot of pitchers that will just pitch and then have a designated hitter for them in the lineup.
Okay, okay. How about you, Ashley? What sports do you play in college?
In college, I did track and field. I was a thrower, so I did shot put, discus, weight throw, um, anything that I could chuck a ball as far as I can. So,
And that makes sense for both you guys. Why you're so good at dodgeball.
yeah, yeah.
Lou, do you have the underhand throw at all in dodgeball?
Really been working on it for foam. I can throw it, just my overhand is so much more accurate. So I'm like, why would I ever do this? I try it out in league nights here sometimes. It makes me really mad though whenever I can see a really good like underhand, like someone whipping the ball underhand in foam, and they just, so accurate, so hard. And I'm like, why can they do that and then I can? I was a pitcher. Like if anyone should be able to do that to me. But but yeah, it's not quite there yet, but it's getting better.
I am jealous of people who can do that because I try to do it and the ball will like be maybe 15 miles per hour and it's terrible. It's like a beach ball.
Yeah, that's how I started, but it got a lot better. Maybe one of these days I'll do a surprise underhand in the middle of the game.
It's also, in my opinion, like insanely tough because those players that will do that can like throw risers and sinkers and you just never know how to dodge and the ball spin in a different way and it's tough to play against.
Yeah.
That and curves too. I would love to develop a curve to my throw. Like Sam Sayward, for example, like she somehow has like mastered that. Like we played against Aggression, and it was one of our bracket games in New Orleans. And I remember like she threw the ball, and I'm thinking this ball's like nowhere near me. And next thing you know, at the last second, it just curves right into me, and I'm like, I literally glasses went up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that was a crazy ass throw. So if I could implement that, that's gonna be the goal. That's the
Well,
goal.
we're gonna work on this actually because I used to not really care about that whatsoever. And it was a series actually against you guys, Lou, in Minnesota when you're playing on Moist. And you guys were all throwing curveballs at me. And I'm like, I can't really throw one. Like I kind of know how to, but I've never really practiced it. So I came back to Nutmeg and I was asking people how they throw sliders and curveballs. Um, and then like a lot of people like to ball block with two balls, so I started doing that. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm gonna start doing it. And then I looked up online, like on YouTube, just videos, and I saw this throwback of Brianna London throwing like a drop curve.
She's so good at that.
Yeah,
I'll be like standing in the box and like she's in the corner and I'll be like, teach me your ways, teach me your ways.
And they're still hard. There's like no velocity that's lost on these throws. That's impressive.
Mhm. Yeah.
But speaking of New Orleans, let's get into the recap. So Nationals was what, 2 weeks ago now. So I'm not going to go through every series because I definitely don't think you guys would remember it, and I wouldn't expect you guys to. Let's just kind of go by division. So Friday, the first division was no Sting. Um, Ashley, you played with Empire, so let's
Mhm.
talk about Empire. How do you guys do for the day?
Um, we did well. One thing that I love about Empire, shout out to Empire, is that they are a really solid team. Um, they are very calculated. They are amazing at catching. I mean, great energy all around, and just good vibes. I had a feeling that we were gonna do pretty well because I feel like that's just like their primary ball type. Um, so when we got to finals, I was like, all right, like me and Lou, like we got this. It's either gonna be me or it's gonna either gonna be you. But no, like it's really impressive to see like what Katie has done with that team from like where she started. I met Katie like 2 years ago and it was like Katie's fan club, and then now she's built Empire, and like to see some of the players then develop to the players that are there now and like the players on the roster now. I mean, she's really got that team like put together and very organized and just does a really good job with the plays. I mean, they are a team that can execute a play, and they're a team that just has a lot of great chemistry. So I think being a part of that, I was able to vibe well and fit into their energy a little bit. And I think that is what kind of helped carried us into finals. Um, but all around, like it was a really good experience. I love playing with teams that have really good energy. You know, they're laughing, they're smiling, high fives. But I also love teams that are very calculated and strategic. And I do think that Empire is one of those teams. So, you know, playing with them on Friday was really fun. I enjoyed myself for sure.
And then to just kind of bounce off of that, so you also played with them in Boston. You guys won that round.
Yeah, yeah. And like just to kind of go more in depth about how calculated this team is. So when I agreed to play with them, Katie like sent me like you know, like their plays, right? So I'm thinking, all right, it's gonna be like just like your basic homes, aways, etc., like whatever. So I opened the document and it's like this 2, 3 page document of like their plays, their different names on there, and I'm like, damn, like I didn't think I had to study before playing in Boston. Um, but no, like I did my studying, and like you can see like the work that's in that document, like it translates to the court. You know, it's not one of those things where they're not using certain plays. They're using those plays. They are calculated. I see Katie, I see Sarah, like they know exactly what they're doing with that team. So for me, I just sit back and they tell me, all right, do this, do that, and I'm like a robot. I'm like, all right, I'll do what I'm told and I'm going. So yeah, I played with them in Boston, and like I said, they're a really fun team to play with and be a part of. So
And it looks like that team, just from like the outside looking in, they always seem like they're very locked in. And I don't know everyone too well, but I would say it seems like there has been pretty much the same faces, like what, the last year or so, maybe even two.
yeah, yeah. That's another thing too I really like about their team is like they have a really like huge community. Like they are very community oriented. So Katie, I believe, like believes on like sticking with her team, developing her players, trusting the process, you know, working together as a team and just like building on that, which I think it's very admirable, you know, to start somewhere and build with that. Not a lot of teams do that. A lot of teams may dump their players or you know, hop from team to team. Like they keep that same base and they grow with that. So they're also majority like queer, like which is also really awesome. You know, being a part of that community, I really don't get a lot of that in Connecticut. So being able to hop on that team and like just enjoy the vibes and like watch their growth, like it really is awesome. So you get that community feel when you're playing with them.
For sure. And I also respect the fact too that they're all New York City. So it kind of reminds me of like Seattle, like with Misfits and Fortune, how it's all Seattle based players.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool for sure.
How about you, Lou? So you played on Invasion Friday. How was that? Uh oh, Lou, I think you might be muted. I think
Really
he's still.
enjoy playing on it.
Oh, okay, you're good. You're good.
I actually think my computer froze. Can you guys
Yeah.
hear me? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Everyone froze for a second. So, yeah, I really like playing on Invasion. I have a good time. I was really iffy on if I even wanted to play No Sting because it was the first day this year instead of the last. And I was really worried that I was going to be too sore or tired for cloth on day 3, which is what I care about the most. But I am so happy that I played on day 1. I have so much fun playing on Invasion. It's a good team. We won. Yeah, and it's just kind of funny hearing Ashley talk about her 3-page playbook. Invasion couldn't be any more different. They're more of a show and play, and but like they're all veterans, so they can just show up and play, and they kind of have it down pat because they've been a team for how long, and it's kind of fun to play in that environment every once in a while. And like, not, I mean, I really love captaining, but it's nice every once in a while to not and just be a player.
What was like the vibe? Because you mentioned that you played with them in the past. So like, was there familiar faces other than Katie?
Yeah, I play with Invasion every once in a while. Like if Flex doesn't go to a round, they're my first, like my next home, I guess. Like I've just played with them somewhat recently in this Seattle round too. So yeah, familiar with playing with them. It's always a good time.
And you ladies got to play against each other in the No Sting finals. Do you guys want to talk about that?
Lou, you want to lead the conversation?
Um, yeah, fun game. Um, I didn't know it at the time, but that game was gonna be who determines who gets all 3 women's medals. So that is pretty cool. But yeah, it was a fun game. Like I said, it was fun playing Invasion. It was fun playing against Ashley. I think that in our against each other moments, I got you out once, you got me out once, but both times afterwards, we both had like huge grins on our face because it's like fun playing against, your
Yeah.
teammate.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's good, fun game.
Lou and I were the only players too on our team that did all 6 divisions too. So we were like, from the beginning, we're like, we need to lock in here. We knew it was gonna be a long, hard weekend, but we did it. We persevered. So
All 6 divisions is crazy.
yep.
Yeah, I can't believe it because a typical tournament, I'm so sore on Sunday, like for mixed. So I have no idea how, and I still felt pretty fine by day 3. I was the most shocked. Like I was so shocked. I can't even believe that I was still able to throw cloth well on Friday or on Sunday.
How about you, Ashley? How did you feel on day 3?
I was hurt, and I was watching some of the videos of like me walking at certain points, and I'm like, "Ooh, girl, you're hurting." But no, same thing. Like I was able to like manage and like pull together for cloth. Honestly, women's cloth, I felt fine. I think once we hit mixed cloth, I think that's where like the adrenaline started to like come down a bit, and it really started to impact me during mixed cloth. But I was still able to get catches in mixed cloth. I was able to make some throws, so it wasn't like I was a complete end game for me, but I definitely felt it. I'd be lying to say if I didn't feel it. So
No,
Were you
that's
guys also cramping a lot there too, or was it just me and some others, I guess?
I wasn't, but there was an earlier tournament this year in Cleveland where me and Ashley both cramped the same game. It was our final cloth game against Illusion, and Ashley was our right corner. And Ashley's like, Lou, I need you to corner. Like my whole hand's cramping. I can't hold the ball. So I step in the corner, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my hand starts cramping, and I couldn't hold the ball. It was the same game. Um,
It's a
but
corner.
it
like,
is.
yeah, it's the corner. But just knowing I was doing all 6 divisions and like knowing that that happened before, I feel like I did a lot more preventative things this time around. Um, like with like meds and like eating well throughout the day and just stuff like that. So I tried to really do everything right to like sustain 3 days in the gym.
That first day for me was crazy. Shout out Carol. I couldn't bring water into the gym, so
They
but
were crazy with like bringing stuff in. I
right,
mean,
that's nuts.
crazy. I mean, I'm over here. I don't know how much I should reveal about what I was able to bring in, but it was like I was sweating bullets because I'm like, oh no, Carol's taking my banana for sure. Like that banana's gone. So I remember at one point like standing to the side, I'm trying to get this banana down because I'm like, I'm not wasting this. Like, so I tried. There were times where I had to like eat stuff before going in.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you couldn't bring shit in. And then shout out Steve Decker. He was behind me. He's like, hey, do you just want to put it in my car? I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I'm like, well, I'm going to chug this Starbucks coffee. There's no way I'm not. And then not playing. But I don't want to do that. Like, I want to enjoy my coffee. I like coffee. But yeah, I did sneak in some pickle juice.
Fun.
And then, yeah, had a bunch of water, had like the hydration packets. And then I was raw dogging mustard, and it helps.
Ew.
You know what? Yeah, yeah, I believe it. Raw dogging is kind of wild, but yeah, no.
Confirmed, Dad. Did it once.
Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do.
But yeah, so bringing it back to dodgeball. So, Lou, that was your first medal of the weekend, one of 4, right?
Yep.
Crazy. Lou is like USA mellow.
I got clap for that. That's impressive.
Yeah, that was cool. I really wanted women's cloth. Like that's what I wanted. If I just got that, I would have been ecstatic. Anything else was kind of a bonus. So, yeah, I'm definitely happy about how nationals went.
So let's stick to nosing. So that same day after winning one medal, you played with Echo. So do you want to talk about playing with Echo and your run to the finals?
Um, yeah, I mean, Echo is kind of similar to Invasion. There's all veterans on that team, and they just show up and play. I have a lot of fun playing on Echo too. Is 4 women from Invasion then played again on Echo. So we got to have a fun moment of like a group of us having like starting off the nationals with 2 medals. Yeah, it's just like crazy to look back and think how I was considering not playing day one. So I think things worked out okay.
I would say so. Let's move into Saturday. So you guys were a team on Saturday. You guys played as flex. So Saturday was foam. You guys also won. So let's talk about that.
Felt like we got the band back together that Saturday morning. Like it was kind of nice, you know. Me and Lou were stranded and we're separated the entire Friday. So I'm like, hey
Yeah,
Lou.
we have such good energy, we good team vibe. We didn't have a lot of rounds this year where all 8 of us were there at the same time. And I think we were all like our messages leading up to the tournament, we were all like have the whole group, like finally our whole core team. I think we were just pumped, we were excited, and that really showed. Is like everyone played great.
So who was on flex for women's on foam? Because I think I saw a new face on Sunday, or was it the same 8 ladies?
Yeah, our core has 8, but Lisa Fox couldn't make nationals. She got an injury in the Dallas round, so had to drop out. So for foam, we had 7, and then on the cloth day, we picked up Mira Duarte. Don't know if I'm saying that correctly. She played with Frenzy on foam, and then was looking for a cloth team, and she's just an amazing athlete. So thought
And
absolute and energy and just
energy, yes.
like loved having her with the group on Sunday. So there was like no question when she was like, "Hey, any chance you know of a team?" Know of a team. Immediately text my team. Like, we all good with
Yeah, I think
this?
so, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So let's talk about your final. So there was that insane catch that Allie made. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. That was in her. She had a 1v2 moment, and guess hit or thought she hit Becca. But then I think it might have been Katie with the cross court throw that she caught and then like did a backwards somersault on the ground, threw the ball on the ground. It was just, I mean, it was just like a hell of a catch. Um, Ended up being a little bit controversial because the ref said that it was not a hit on Becca prior to that. And Allie in celebration, like she spiked the ball on the ground and immediately was like, ah, and stepped off the court. So then there was like a moment of like, was she out? She stepped off the court, but she stepped off the court because she thought the game was over. And I think the official rule was it's the ref's discretion on if someone steps off the court or not. So they let her stay on. She actually caught me back in. So thanks, Allie. But I wasn't needed at all because then Allie just ended up getting the final hit and closing out the game. So yeah, awesome moment for her.
You want to talk about hype too? I honestly think Allie's energy during that entire thing was absolutely insane. I felt it from the side, and when she had that catch, it was just like you just knew like it was insane. Anytime Allie's on the ground too, and you throw that ball, it's like good luck, because there's a high chance that thing is being caught. There's a high chance. But no, it was absolutely insane. Shout out to Allie for doing that. And she posted her clip on Instagram too. So anyone watching this, check that out. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, she won six. So like I'm 20 rows up watching the finals, and she's like rolling around, and I'm like, there's no way that they're throwing the ball at her. And I think you said that Katie threw the ball at her, and she caught it. But I think right before that, she threw the ball and thought she got that person out, and she spiked the ball, and then she got off the court. And like as a bystander, I'm like, oh my god, are they going to call her out because there's still a girl on the other side? But yeah, just like what you were saying, that they end up calling a ref discretion. But that was an insane play.
Hmm.
So that was Ashley, your second medal for the weekend, and Lou, your third.
Yep.
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 So let's move into. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just have to shout out though our Fang game again in the quarterfinals that led to that moment because Fang they weren't in the Elite Eight, so even they placed really well, but they got like that ninth seed because of how the seeding worked out. It's actually funny because before the Dallas round, Fang was in the Elite Eight and Flex was not. So we went to Dallas because we try to go to all the cloth rounds. And it's funny because, like, to the team, I'm like, hey, even though this is a cloth round, we need to win foam. We need to get in the Elite Eight. So we did win foam there. And unfortunately for Fang, they were the ones that got the bump to kind of get into a bad spot in seeding for foam because they're a great team. And it was unfortunate to have to play them that early. But that quarterfinals game was insane. Um, Went down 0-2, tied it up in no block, and had the extra game. I mean, both teams were just so hyped. It was crazy.
Wish it was recorded. Do you know anyone that recorded that game?
I don't. That's like I watched so many games from nationals, and I am not able to watch that one over. But that was an amazing game.
Yeah.
What court was it on?
It was on 5.
Okay. I would say if it was on court one, obviously it's a stream court, but they were also streaming court two. So hashtag ad. If you pay to be a member, you can get those games back from the stream on like the second court. Just for anyone who's watching and wants to watch stuff back or support Mitch. But yeah, let's move into cloth. So let's talk about cloth. You guys had 8, right? You guys picked up Myra.
Yeah, Mira. Yeah.
So let's talk about that. And also, I think before we get into that, I think it's really cool that a lot of Canadians are starting to come down and play dodgeball in the US. And I hope that kind of cycles into next year too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love going to Canadian tournaments and want more of them to start coming here. So yeah, it would be awesome to have a bigger Canadian presence in the U.S. They a lot of them go to the thing, but it'd be really cool to have some more Canadian teams at nationals next year.
Agreed, for sure. I wish I knew a lot more of them, but I'm definitely going to make it a goal to get over to Canada more and play more in their tournaments for sure. Because I had a blast at the thing, It was insane, but we'll see what next year brings. So
I heard that those Toronto tournaments are crazy. Like they're very well organized, well ran. The streams are awesome. They have like Nick Dancheko on the court, like interviewing people right afterwards. So shout out Canada for all that.
Yeah, they're run really well and they're very, very competitive. Um, so yeah, really enjoy going to at least the kickoff in mid-season.
They also have like sick gear. I saw a lot of people wearing it at nationals.
Yeah, they do that. They do like jersey auctions too with like old jerseys you don't want anymore and just they just do some cool things at those tournaments.
I
They
think they
do
were. Oh, go
uh,
ahead.
they do like MVPs and then MVP for the whole tournament and then MVP in the finals and I like that element too.
Yes, same. I think Sierra won one of them. Sierra Ortiz this past
oh yeah.
Toronto. Yeah. I don't know about the rest, but I remember seeing that on Instagram.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think also the BDO for like the fourth tournament, they did a jersey swap too, where you bring in a jersey and you get one back. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, but let's talk about cloth. So you guys won again. I didn't pull up the schedule just because these were a lot of schedules to go through, and also it was so long ago. But yeah, let's talk about your cloth round.
Uh, I can start.
Sorry, I should have said something. Go
Um,
first.
no, I mean, I feel like from like the start, from when we started our first match throughout the end, I mean, I feel like we played very smooth and fluidly, like throughout the course of the day. Our first match was against BCB, right? And
Mm, yeah.
they're a really good team. Like they you can tell they work together. They have a lot of good chemistry. So they were a very good team to play against for our first match. I can't quite remember the score at the end, but um yeah, I can't remember the score. But either way, from like that moment on, we were able to like take that match and just build on throughout the course of the day. Um, Lou, I don't know if you wanted to chip in, but
Yeah, we definitely like we have a lot of cloth players on the team and you can feel that cuz cloth is a different game and we were like cool, calm and collected the whole time during cloth. And sometimes you can let that get to you and it could be a little bit boring. Like if you're up in numbers, you really should play the game a completely different way. And a lot of teams don't because it's boring. But then if you don't, you're risking a loss instead of just playing smart and like grounding the ball and taking your time and stuff. And I felt like we just had a really good pace. And when we were up, we did play slow and we threw, a lot into the dirt, like not invalid, but just low throws. Conserved our energy to the end because it's also helpful for that. And and yeah, I there were some moments in foam where it was like a little bit of a nail biter game because there were some close ones, but um, didn't quite have that same feeling in cloth. I felt pretty confident with that and how everyone did.
Do you have anything to add, Ashley?
I feel the same, like in terms of the confidence. Um, I feel like too, we've gained a lot of experience in cloth too, so we've learned like I feel like last year, and especially in my experience in Worlds, like it's so easy to feel frazzled in games in cloth that are very close, or where we're up and then we lose that momentum and then we're down. And like one of the biggest things that I was going into this year and even next year is like even in those moments where it feels like a team is catching up or it feels like the game is close, I think maintaining that like that composure and that confidence in a match is very important. So like that was something that I kept in mind on Sunday. It's just making sure that we stayed composed throughout the entire day. Like ironically, usually I feel a little nervous. It was more confidence with cloth, which was really nice. And I think that was something that I was able to capitalize on and use to my advantage during each match. Where with foam, foam is a little bit different in my game at least. I can't really predict foam. I have my good days, I have my bad days, where in cloth, I feel like I have a little bit more of that like composure. So that I can relate to what you were saying, Will, for sure.
Yeah, like I think in our final against Invasion, they went on a run towards the end. They won 2 or 3 games, and the score might have been like 10-6 at one point after they had maybe 2 wins late. And and I just remember we were on the back line. I called timeout, and we were like, they can't physically win due to the clock and how much time is left on it, like because with due to the 3-minute games. As long as all these games are slow and we don't rush anything and we don't do anything stupid, there's not a possibility for them to have enough points to win. So if you play strategic like that, like I feel like we really had strategy on our side the whole day with cloth because and it's like it's not like I said that and everyone's like, "Oh, like what?" Like everyone's like yeah, we know. Like everyone was already thinking along the same lines because we're all like cloth minded, I guess you could say.
Yeah, the composure was nice. Like we were literally in our huddle and we're like, we got this, like stay composed and we just need to play our game. Like, and that was literally what we were saying. And it was nice. It was kind of that gentle reminder, like we know our abilities. We've been in this situation before. We know how we can close this game out. Like, don't make any reckless decisions, just play our game. And like that's exactly what we did.
And then Lou won her fourth medal, and Ashley won her third for the weekend.
Yep, always trailing behind. That's all right. That's all right. I love it. It's all
You
good.
got you got MVP Ash. So look at us, 4-4,
Yeah, true.
walking away
I
with
saw that
two.
video.
You saw
Yeah.
the video?
I saw the video. You're just chilling in the background, and they're like Ashley, and you're just like,
So confused, and then I'm like, oh, all right, that's my name.
hell yeah. Okay, so those are all the divisions. Let's get into a few more questions, and then go into questions from the people. What are or who are some players slash teams that stuck out to you guys that weekend? Let's start with Lou.
Um, well, definitely have to say Invasion. Making it to all 3 finals isn't easy. And then I have to say Fang again because that was definitely one of our hardest games of the weekend. Um, Also want to say we played Amplify a couple times and they really held their own too against us. So shout out there. Um, I always remember the women's games a lot more than mixed. So just gonna just gonna have my answer be all
How
women's teams.
about you, Ashley?
Um, I agree with all those, and then I'm gonna add the addition of aggression. Aggression
Mhm.
for me, like playing them, is incredibly unpredictable because they they play their games fast and they play them well. So like there's times where they can conquer a game and you're like, oh shoot, like we're in this. So big shout out to them for building that team and putting up good matches and good fights for sure. That's another standout team in my eyes.
Shout out the Philly girls.
Yeah.
Let's move into the next questions. Question. What are some things that you guys did well this weekend or that weekend?
As a team, or would you say like or individually?
Either or. Ashley, start first. Sorry, I'm way out of it. No nap today. Like 11-hour workday. I'm out of it.
No, you're good. Um, I feel like a team. I think one of my favorite things about this year is that we had good vibes, really good energy, and like we didn't let anything like frazzle us. So like I think it's so easy, like, and I had mentioned this before, like when we're playing against teams and whether we're down or we are up and then, things switch, it's easy for us to kind of lose our mental a little bit and we kind of play down to what our potential actually is. Where I felt like this year, I feel like we held our own mentally and we were there. And even if we lost a set or even if we lost a match, like we still had good energy all around, and we were like, we just need to tidy up or fix these small things, and like we were able to do that. I don't think there was really a second this weekend where we were really down on ourselves or that there was really any like bad energy, and like that's a huge factor, I feel like, towards success of a team. Like when everyone's up and we're all uplifting each other and boosting each other, and like there's a lot of good constructive criticism or good feedback, like that goes a long way. And I felt like that was something that we were focusing on this year, which is trying to have that good energy and not like let those small moments bring us down as a team.
How about
Yeah.
you, Lou?
Definitely agree with everything Ashley said. Our energy vibes the whole weekend as a team was just great. Um, there's never like a downer moment, like never a moment where someone was hard on another person. It's just a really good environment to play in, and I think it like creates an environment where everyone can shine, because everyone really picks everyone else up, and yeah. And I guess on a personal note, I am happy with the way I captained this weekend because sometimes it is hard for me to um, like critique things or say like, hey, maybe like cut this or just say that to players. And I really tried to make it a point to have those harder conversations with players throughout the weekend, and they were all received well, which I really appreciate being able to play. And like, I mean, if anyone gave me feedback, like I want to hear those things in the moment. And I also really respect playing with players who can like hear that in the moment. And instead of getting down in any way, they're like totally understand, totally heard. Thank you so much for telling me, and it's just, it just helped things in so many ways. So that's like a little personal like note that I'm proud of.
And just to piggyback off of that too, like Lou, like you are a phenomenal captain. Like I do want to say that, like having a captain that can stay composed, but also, like you said, give the constructive criticism, give that positive feedback. You were really doing a good job at just trying to make sure that the energy was there and that everyone was having fun, or that, we were present there mentally. And like that was a very big presence this weekend. And I think geared us towards that success. So I do want to give you a shout out because you are amazing and we love having you. Loves having you as a captain. So it really does make a difference having someone step up as that leader that can lead a team towards, that goal. So,
Thanks, Ash. It's awesome.
of course, Lou,
Really
of
appreciate
course.
that. Yeah, I couldn't be any more happy with the team and the outcome after nationals.
Captaining could be rough too, because like there's so many things that go into it. So like obviously you need to gather your team, be a leader, strategize, make play calls, like know where you're supposed to be on which court. If you're reffing, if you're playing, if you set up like your phone to go record, like you got like set that up beforehand. There's like people that that want to be coached harder. There's some people that may be a little bit more sensitive. So you got to be like, hey, good thing on this. Let's work on this. So that is like a huge balancing act on just captaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit of a control freak, so I think it fits well for my personality. But I legitimately like doing it, and I like play calling and yeah, and it all just worked in nationals, and that was really awesome.
I feel like you and I are pretty similar, Lou. So I do breakdowns. So Ashley knows this, but like we have like our rec stuff on Wednesday, and then we have semi-pro. So like I had our play calls all sent out. Like I have screenshots. I like literally make like a YouTube video that's unlisted. So it's just whoever I send it to. We'll go over like good plays, bad plays. So like I know it's tough for everyone to have an hour of their time throughout the week to like sit down all together and watch something. So I'll do it for everyone, and I'll just be like, hey, here's the stuff that we do well. Good. Here's the stuff that we do bad. Let's work on this.
Not me on a podcast with both my captains. This is
Oh
insane.
shit.
Um, yeah, we actually did something similar to that. We had a call the week before nationals, and we did just come off of winning Foam and Cloth in Dallas, smaller round though. But we did go to Toronto's midseason clash and placed 10th. So that was Flex's worst performance by a significant margin. And and it's okay to have an off tournament, off game every once in a while as long as you learn from it. And yeah, that was like still a little bit confusing why we played that poorly mid season, but I just it happens, and we had this call, and we all talked about really openly what went wrong, what to change, and I think acknowledging it and talking through it just really helped. And then halfway through the call, I was like, okay, that's it, that's behind us, done, learn from it, move on, and now we're going to talk about everything like positive and all the things we want to see in nationals. And I don't know, at least for me, I found that helpful because I wanted to talk through that tournament.
I think that's really important too. Like, hey, this is the bad stuff that we did. Let's not dwell on it. It shouldn't carry over if you're talking about it in real time. Like, it's not going to carry over to the next game. We're not going to be mad at this person, or we're not going to be mad at these few people for making mistakes. Like, they made the mistake. We acknowledge it. Let's just move on. Let's transition into the next question. What are some things that you think you guys should work on for next season? Let's start with Lou.
I mean, something I'm constantly working on is not reaching for catches. I feel like I have improved in that category a lot, but I still have a long ways to go. Especially if I caught a couple, then I start to get confident and maybe want to reach for one. But that's up there, and then just general mobility isn't the highest. But at nationals, I had the excuse of you couldn't slide at all on that gym floor, so it worked out okay there. But yeah, those are like my two things to work on.
That is true because some of the courts literally had go tape so the floor would stop sliding.
It was like that weird, I don't know what the floor is called, but like you couldn't slide on it, you would just stick.
I don't know if you girls had the same issue, but like we would run a ways, and just where I would throw and land on the away, like I would feel the floor below me like slide. And I'm like, this isn't good.
Yeah, I remember when I was playing no sting, I literally threw a ball and then literally slipped and like fell. Like the amount of people I feel like that fell this weekend or injured themselves, not to like complain about the venue, it was a great venue, but I think that floor was definitely a different surface than what a lot of people were used to. So it was a challenge at times.
Yeah, I agree. How about you, Ashley? What are some things that you want to work on for next year?
Uh, For me, like survivability, like valuing myself more on the court. Like a lot of times I'll dump that ball real quick and then I'll leave myself completely open. And I think, I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm getting antsy. I have no clue. But just remembering like that I can block a ball, like it's okay to sit and block. But then if I'm playing foam, blocking in general, that's definitely something that I want to get better. Ryan, you block very well, so I would love to pick up a thing or two from like how you block.
I got a
So,
breakdown coming.
all right, bet. Hold the ball. Like, no, I'm kidding.
I had that
But
one game that was like, what, 7 minutes? I was exhausted on Wednesday.
yeah, on Wednesday. Oh yeah, you killed some time too.
I just kept on looking over at the clock, and John kept on saying, like, if you win this, I'm paying for Caden's college fund. And I almost pulled it out. And John,
Almost.
every time I got someone out, John's like, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, no, you do it very well. So I think that's something, especially as we play more foam, I would definitely want to get better at. So
Okay. But yeah, overall, congrats, ladies. That was a really good weekend for Flex and for you guys individually. Let's move on to questions for the people. So there's a lot. We got about 35 minutes. I think we can get through it.
let's do it.
All right. First question. Question from Alan Williams for Ashley. Ashley, who's your favorite teammate?
Alan.
He's like, or else.
No, or else, right? First, shout out to Alan. That's my homie right there. I love you, Alan, for listening to this. Um, I can't pick a teammate. I'm so sorry. It feels wrong with the amount of people that I played with this year and the amount of personalities. I can't pick. But I will say is that I can kind of talk about the kind of qualities that I do like in a teammate that I like to play with. And those qualities are people that have good vibes, that have good energy on the court, uplifting, still competitive and can stay locked in. But like if a mistake is made, we learn from it and we move on. Um, and I had the pleasure of having that ability to play with a lot of teams and teammates like that. But I can't just pick one. That feels so wrong. But Alan, like you're a homie. If anybody knows Alan, you want to play with him and not against him because the minute he whines that Alan is like what 6'4", he's got to be 6'4". He's six
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The minute that arm extends back, you're closing your eyes because you don't know where that thing's going, but it's flying. It
I
is
was
flying.
I always tell Alan too, because like he will go to the front line a lot and pump fake. I'm like, there's nothing scarier than you just going up to the front line and murdering someone. Don't pump fake. Just walk into your throw. It's Lou. It's probably like it's got to be high 70s for a
Yes.
foam throw.
Yes. It's
That's up
insane.
there.
Yup. All right, let's go into our next question. Question from Pierce McKenna. Draft your top 3 hype men/women. Let's start with Lou.
Yeah. So, like hype, like who gets me hyped?
Yeah.
Huh. Um. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna go with Ashley because when Ashley has a big moment on the court, it is the most infectious thing. Everyone in the entire gym knows. Like when goggles come up, that whole moment. That's awesome. So I don't know if I'm allowed to draft you because you're the other person, but we didn't establish any rules, so I am.
All right, let's go Ashley, and then we'll go back to Lou.
All right. I am gonna go for my lady. I'm gonna go Allie. Allie Visgerando. We were talking about that, like that insane catch that she had, but her energy is unmatched. Like there's times when she's got the energy, I got the energy. There's times I want to pick her up and put her on my shoulder sometimes because we're so hyped. But yeah, I'm gonna go her for my first hype woman.
Okay, Lou, back to you.
um, this is kind of a hard one for me because a lot of times when people get real hype, it just makes me quiet. Um, um, hmm, another hype person. I mean, I was gonna say Allie, so now I'm not sure. Um, I don't know if I have like I would feel like I'd just be blurring out a name, but it's always really awesome whenever you see someone who doesn't normally get hyped all of a sudden have like a hype moment. So yeah, sorry, I'm gonna kind of kill the question, but I'm kind of blanking on anyone else who
Well,
really like
maybe
gets wild.
maybe like a guy. So like you haven't had like maybe you didn't play with him, but you just watch from afar. So like I think Dylan might be like a good pick here.
Dylan's a good pick. I mean, there's a lot of guys because I think that's more present in the guys' game to have like a play and really turn around and like, I mean, I guess Shota really knows how to get the crowd going with some of his crazy plays. I mean, some of his plays are so athletic. I wonder if like are you doing that for a video or are you just like that good that you can just like react like that in a game? I don't know, some of his plays are just awesome and then, everyone just goes wild when he has a classic Shota move. So I'll go Shota.
Okay, good pick. Do you know that meme? Oh, I guess it's a meme of like something that happened in real life, but it's Tiffany Gomez on that plane, and she's like turning around. She's like, "That motherfucker's not real." That's Shota.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
You're
it's
not
awesome.
wrong. Yeah. Some of the stuff he pulls off is absolutely insane. It really is.
I try to
It
do it
really
sometimes, and I fail. I'm like, "Bro, you're not Shota." Like, look in the mirror.
is.
But let's go next pick, Ashley.
Um, I'm gonna do Sean because let me tell you, like I've played with Sean like so many times, and Sean is hype when he does his "Let's go!" wow. And like when I hear that, like you know you're doing something well or something good is happening. So like sometimes I'll hear that and I'm like, hell yeah. Like I'm like, let's turn this shit up, you know? So definitely Sean, for sure.
That's true. He has like a big throw at the front line. He falls back and he's like pretty much on his ass and he catches the ball like all the way down here. You hear,
Yep.
let's go. And you're like,
Yep.
all right, Sean's popping off.
He's ready. Yep. This is his time.
All right, last pick, Lou.
Last pick. So I am gonna go with Anna, not because she's loud hype person, but like verbally, but because some of her plays are just so it's like when we desperately need a big play. And I feel like she's consistently someone who pulls through that big play when the team needs it most. And then like because of that, everyone else gets so hyped like for her because she did the great thing. And she had like several moments like that at nationals that just really really hyped everyone up. So I'm gonna go Anna for those big clutch plays.
Good pick. All right, Ashley, last pick.
Just to say real quick, you got to get Anna to say "Let's fucking go" because you know Anna is also hype when she's like, "All right, guys, let's fucking go," and we're like, "Let's go." My next pick is gonna be Daphne from Empire. I have never been barked at before. In a game. Well, no, it's part of their thing. Like they have like a dog theme, so it's like top dog. Like I was service dog, so they like do like they bark, and Daph like she's like ooh ooh ooh, and you're barking, I'm barking, we're chest bumping like that instantly gets me hype. You know, I've never barked at anyone before in a game, but it gets me so hype, so hype. So definitely one of my next picks.
Good pick. Good pick. Lou, you were in Seattle. Did you watch the men's finals?
I did watch the men's finals.
So there's a play while, I mean, obviously I was on the court, but Eli is at the front line. I think he makes a throw lefty and he turns to his weak side and he catches a ball and he
One
like,
hand.
yeah, and he like, well, not this time, different time,
Oh.
but he like falls back and he catches the ball and like he tumbles and he gets up and he's like, let's go. And I mean, we're playing in Seattle. It's flight and everyone there is from Seattle, pretty much. And I was like, yo, this dude is cold as shit. Like he totally took the air out of the whole building. And it wasn't like, I mean, I guess it was a high play, but I'm like, yo, that was crazy to me. I'm like, that's a huge turning point in the series, and I think we kind of went out from there. But
That's crazy.
yeah, I just wanted to shout out Eli. I don't think that's a surprise though, as the USA men's captain. Um, let's move on to the next question. Question from Bo. It's important to me to grow the women's game. What's the best way to get more women players?
I feel like for me, like I graduated, I was playing college softball, and then a lot of years passed until I finally found dodgeball. Had I known, I absolutely would have played dodgeball earlier. So I feel like trying to get the word out to those like retired college athletes who still want to play a sport. I feel like that's like the untapped market for women um, who are still young, fresh out of college. Like, because yeah, I tried a lot of different sports, but until I finally found dodgeball, and I know there's more people out there like me. So that's where my head goes with a question like that. I wish I found dodgeball when I was younger, um, but found it now. So that's why I was on a fast track to going to a bunch of tournaments to like ramp up quick.
How about you, Ashley?
Yeah. Shout out to Bo. What's up, Bo? I think creating and having more spaces and inclusive spaces for women. So maybe it's like how we're doing like a women's only open gym, or maybe like establishing a space for women's to lead as captains. I think just providing a more inclusive environment for them to feel like they can step up in leadership and promote the sport themselves, essentially. I think, having women draw more other women in could be a perk. Um, and yeah, I think, yeah, I would just say that just providing those spaces for women, to, yeah, make an inclusive environment.
It's good
Sorry,
responses.
I blanked.
No, you're good. You're good. Those are some good responses. I definitely can't help with that question because I would have to talk to one. Let's move on to the next question. Question from Tegan Pegs. Do you have any specific things slash rituals you guys do pregame to get yourself into the right headspace to play? And what is your previous sporting history before dodgeball? Let's start with Ashley.
All right. So I would say like for me before I play, I usually try and have like some carbs. Like I'll eat like a banana, I'll have granola bars, like something that will kind of give me a little bit of energy for the day. I'll have a Celsius, and usually I have that before I play in like any tournament. I've been doing this new thing, and you'll see me do it now that I'm saying it now. I will do 10 push-ups before I start a match. I will bang out 10. I try. If I can find a corner to do it, I'll do it in a corner. But for me, it kind of gets the blood flow going, and it just makes me feel a little bit more locked in. So it's definitely carried on.
I saw it the last semi-pro, and I forget who I was talking to, but I'm like turning this way, and I look to my left, and you're just knocking out push-ups, and we're like, damn, Ashley locked in.
Yeah, it's become something I've done a lot more frequently, and now that I started it, I like make it a mindset to do it. And I think it is a little mental, but it's also physical, like I said, getting warmed up. So definitely one of my little traditions for sure.
Okay. How about you, Lou?
Yeah, not that. Um, yeah, don't think I could do 10 push-ups, so that's not my warm-up. Um, yeah, I don't know. I like to throw a lot. I stretch a lot. I'm old. I need to stretch. I don't want to get hurt. I like to warm up a lot. I used to warm up a lot as a pitcher too. Make sure I'm loose. And I try to eat a lot of protein during dodgeball days. I don't really eat a lot because I never have an appetite when we play, but have been doing like overnight oats before the games. A lot of protein, carbs that way, protein bars, snuck in protein bars in my socks for nationals.
Wow.
So
Damn. Take that, Carol. Didn't find it.
yeah, I just like I don't know. I that's something that I feel like I need. I'm very particular on what I eat. I eat the same thing for every tournament and around the same time of the day. And I didn't want to change that.
I feel that. I try to sneak or not sneak in. I feel like you shouldn't have to, but I always try to bring like water, Celsius. Ashley, go to Celsius drink flavor.
Um, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the same flavor. I just pick whatever comes to me. So I've done like that, like raspberry lemon. I've done like out
Fire.
whatever is calling my name. I'm grabbing it.
Peach one with the black top, best one.
Peach one with the black top.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try that next.
But yeah, I try to sneak in like water, coffee for sure. I know that sounds crazy, but and like yeah, protein and I'll try to like go to a gas station beforehand. If they have pickles, I always buy pickles and then bring it with.
I've been doing pickles more recently too, because I cramp a lot as well in my hands and then my calves. Like if I'm sweating a lot, like by the end, I just start to cramp like crazy. Maybe I'll raw dog some mustard actually, Ryan.
Try it, yeah, try it, try it. I'll bring some Wednesday.
All right.
Next question. Question from Katie Foreman for Ashley. What was the biggest difference for you joining Empire for some no sting rounds versus playing with your typical flex teammates?
Um, I think shout out to Katie. Um, I would say I would say that Empire is very, very strategic. Like I said before, they have a two-page document, and they have the plays, and they have different names for their plays, and each player has a different name for their play call, and it's very cohesive, and it's very, very laid out. Where I feel like Flex, kind of what you were saying about like Invasion Lou, I feel like we're still very put together, but we also have the ability to not have to do that at times. And we sometimes we'll go out and we'll play and we'll just run the standard like aways, homes, X, Y, and Z. I think both ways work for each team. But I definitely noticed that with Empire, they're very, very laid out and they literally translate that onto the court. And it's very, very put together, very, very like they use in every single play and they capitalize on that. So that was one of the biggest things that I noticed being a part of that team. And it was cool to see, because sometimes I play on teams and we go out, there's no talking. It's just we go out there, we ball, right? Away, home, Allie, you throw, Ashley, you throw, Lou, you throw. Where with Empire, it's like, all right, like we have designated this name call for this play, this game. So it was very nice to see how well put together their team is. Not to disrespect Flex, because Flex is also well put together. But it is different. We function and operate very differently. It's just each team uses different strategies differently. And I feel like that works very well for Empire, and what we do works for us.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Next question from Ali Viz. Let's start with the first one for Lou. What is the most integral part of a team success in your opinion, beyond the athleticism and talent? How did you try to instill that into the teams you captain?
Yeah. Hey, Allie. Shout out,
Ellie.
Allie. Thanks for your question. Um, yeah, so there's like a lot of good teams out there when you look at players of just like pure skill athleticism. So it's like, guess what separates those teams out? I think good team chemistry and good vibe is more important than anything. And if you would have asked me a couple years ago, should you pick the best players purely based on skill, athleticism, or like someone like other players based on good vibes, I would have said, no, you need the best player, you need the strongest star, you need the best catcher. I am not at all in that mindset anymore because I see how important it is to have a team um, who is in sync with each other, who lifts each other up. Um, it's like the little things that make a difference. Like, for example, like if I reach, I've had plenty of people in my day, yell at me for reaching. Don't do that. Stop reaching. Like we need you to survive. But the team that I'm on currently, it's like I found a group of people where if I reach, I don't even have the split second a thought for a split second that anyone's going to make a comment about my reach, because it's such a positive environment of like they believe in me and they know I reached. They don't need to tell me, and it's like a feeling. Like I feel that they still believe in me and they like know that I'm going to get it next time, and like yeah, it's like hard to put into words, but like not only are they not going to make like the little comments, but like it's just a feeling of support and like belief in one another. And I think that that really separates the top tier teams.
Love to hear it. Let's go into the next question for Ashley, still from Ali. What have you been focusing most on with your training these days? What is something you are looking to improve on as we come up to Worlds next year?
Yeah, I mean, currently, um, I still have a focus on like building muscle slash maintaining muscle. So I'm always trying to lift weights, but there's also a large cardio component and like plyometric component that I've been incorporating into my game. And I like having the balance of still feeling strong, but also being mobile and being able to get out the way. So like I'll incorporate like, I'll still do bench, I'll still do squats, but capitalizing on other things like box jumps or sprinting, short sprints to work on excel, movements. And then wait, there's another part to that question, right?
Uh, yes, about Worlds next year. What is something you are looking to improve on as we come up to Worlds?
Got it. And then for me, like I said, it's just being able to work on my survivability. Getting low, I realize that I don't get low at all. Like Ryan, you said something to me at one point. You're like, "Hey, like get low," and that's something that
Oh,
is,
yeah, yeah, Nationals.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's something that is not in my game, but I definitely want to work on incorporating that and just being smarter and more vigilant while I'm on the court. So, I guess those are the areas of focus for next year.
Okay. And last question from Ali, and it's not really a question, it's more of a statement. You're both absolute baddies, and I'm so grateful to not only call you my teammates but my friends.
Oh, love you, Allie.
Let's move on to a question now. A question from Max for Ashley. Since you are the GO at every sport you play, walking home with a gold in every USA Dodgeball tournament, being inducted into the SNHU Hall of Fame, and winning that T-shirt for breaking the record at the punching bag machine at the dive bar, when are you going to take that next step and become the GO of kickball?
That's that's first off, shout out to Max. That's Jesus. I call him Jesus because he's got long hair. I love Max. He's a homie. Um, that's not happening. I will not be the GOAT of kickball. You guys want to see peak comedy? Put me on an outfield in kickball, and you'll get the biggest laugh of all times. I played in a summer season this cut that. And I got my first catch in the outfield. So kickball is definitely more of a social thing for me, and I love the vibes. But I really appreciate your kindness, Max. Maybe you can teach me a few things. So,
Some of
oh
these are
man.
legit essays I got to read. This is crazy. Let's get into the next question. This one's an easy one. Question from Brittany Morales. Who or what teams are the most fun to play against?
Always enjoy our invasion matchups. You know, we played them last year at nationals. We played them this year in national. This year, both championships. So always a competitive game. Always a fun game. I feel like I kind of expected to see them in the finals, and kind of glad it worked out that way because it's just a good game. A lot of good players on the court.
How about you, Ashley?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. We brought up Fang again, but Fang playing against them was absolutely like amazing. Like those games where it's like a nail biter or you're going back and forth or when, teams are popping off. There's one crazy catch here, there's another crazy catch there. I mean, those are the games I feel like that make are the reason why we play at times. So that, I would definitely say Fang. I think Illusion's fun to play against. I mean, there's a lot of teams out there where, I have fun. I love playing against other corners. A lot of corners will see me do this. We'll look at each other and I'll smile at you or they'll smile back and it kind of creates a game like that we'll have in our own of like, all right, who's gonna hit who. So yeah, I feel like those teams are like the ones that come to mind, but I'm sure there's a few others as well where I'm genuinely playing, I have fun playing against them on the court. So,
I feel like I have to add, even though it's not the most fun because we haven't won yet, but Valkyrie games are up there, just with the caliber of that team. And that's like, checked a lot of boxes with dodgeball accomplishments, but beating Valkyrie is still on the list, and that box still needs to be checked. Um, so just, yeah, any competitive game, any competitive team, can't wait to play them again. 'Cause I know it will be a good game, and yeah.
the thing was the first time I played against Valkyrie. That team is very good. Shout out to Valkyrie. Like definitely a team that I would love to play against over and over and over again till we can get them. So we'll see. I mean, they're good. But they're the women's Canadian like team, right? Like they are a lot of them are Team Canada for foam, right?
Yeah, a lot of them are Team Canada for foam.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Still wanna check the box, even if even if it's Team Canada. Still a goal.
Shout out the Canadians. Next question. This is a crazy question, Jeans. Question from Jeans. 1v1 between y'all, foam and cloth. Who's winning?
That's so messy.
Hmm.
I don't know.
We can skip it. We can skip it.
Well, I feel like 99% of the people out there would probably pick Ashley, but I'm gonna say we'll each win one, just because if you're not gonna bet on yourself, who else is gonna bet on you?
I'm
Um, But we
No,
have a very different 1v1 style.
and that's exactly
Um,
what I was gonna say. Yep.
Ashley dodges a lot, stays alive, and then picks that moment to just run someone down and lights them up. And she can stay alive in those 1v1 situations until she has her moment to do that. My 1v1 situation is that I plop down and I'm either going to catch it or I'm out immediately. And the 1v1 lasts all of 2 seconds. So if we ever did a 1v1, it would be Ashley taking a shot at me and whether or not I could catch it in a one-on-one scenario.
100. You literally couldn't have said it any better. Literally verbatim. That's exactly what I was thinking. And knowing me, I would throw the catch. So it literally could be. It can go either way.
I was thinking the exact same thing too.
Yep. Yep.
Next question. Question from Mackenzie. Biggest setback you've had in your dodgeball career, and how did you bounce back? Smiley face. Let's start with Lou.
um, I don't know that I've had a big setback. Been lucky enough to not have an injury or anything like that. So this definitely isn't like a big setback. But the first Worlds team I was on at Edmonton, I made the team. Super appreciative to have made the team because I was like really new at the time. Um, I knew I wasn't going to play a ton because I was so new, but I really didn't play a lot. I only saw a small handful of minutes the entire tournament. And that was like, I don't even know if I would call it like a full setback because I understand why I didn't get a lot of minutes, especially now looking back. But it was still a moment of um, like, okay, that was a little disappointing. I didn't get on the court all that much, but it's just, got to get better from here. And I wouldn't trade that experience because even being there in that environment like taught me so much. For the next year, I felt way more prepared for Austria since I was there, even though I didn't play much. Um, so it's not like a total setback, but it was a little bit of a moment that I wasn't expecting, and like to be sidelined for like game after game is sometimes hard mentally.
I could see that because like you're there, like, but you're not there at the same time. And then
Right.
whenever you're called on, like you gotta be you gotta be there.
Yeah, you have all this pressure of like, oh, my one game. If I mess up, I'm just gonna sit again. Yeah, so it's a hard place to be in.
Yeah. How about you, Ashley?
Um, similarly to Lou, very fortunately, I really haven't had a setback in dodgeball yet, but based off of her question, I'm gonna assume it could be based off of injury, which I can share like an experience from. It just isn't pertaining to dodgeball, but like maybe about like 10 years ago, I tore my ACL. I had a very heavy like basketball background before I got into like track and stuff. And I wanted to play for college. Like it was an absolute dream of mine. And like I tore my ACL at the peak of like my high school career, and it completely shattered me and like rerouted me. So like fast forward, I get into college. I'm like some shy freshman girl. I'm a walk on for the track and field team. And I'm wearing this stupid leg brace, even though I'm fully recovered from my ACL tear. I still had the brace. And like, I remember like in my first few practices, my coach was like, "What is that on your leg?" And I'm like, "Oh, like, it's my brace." And he's like, "Well, why do you have your brace?" And I'm like, "Oh, because it's a part of me. Like, I don't want to re-injure myself. Like, I don't want to hurt myself." And he's like, take that off. So I took that off, and that entire practice, I went on and like had the whole thing without having my brace. And like from that moment on, I like realized that like A, how much my injury had impacted me, but B, I realized that I needed to trust my body and like trust the process. So like anybody, and I'm sure there are going to be listeners here that have had a significant injury and you've been out for months, when you're getting back into it, like you need to trust your body and trust yourself and trust the process. But also, like, remember to not compare your experiences to those around you because you're getting back into the game and you're still trying to figure your way, and it's very hard to lose yourself mentally. So Mackenzie, like I know you're going in it, but I've been watching your recovery week after week, and you've been doing an amazing job. So as you continue to get yourself back on the court, just remember like you are in a completely different situation than those around you, and don't be hard on yourself. Like give yourself a lot of grace and put that work in and that time in towards your body to rehabilitate, and it's going to pay off. But I know it's not connected to dodgeball, but I do have that experience and that story, and I know what it's like to be out of commission for a bit. But don't let it impact you. Like you're getting there, you know, and that's for anybody too that's going through the same thing. It takes time, but you'll find yourself for sure.
That was great advice for sure.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Question from Dan Hood. Who are your icons, both in dodgeball and in sports, that have motivated you and made you succeed? Let's start with Lou. I got it this time.
So you said dodgeball and not dodgeball, right?
Yeah.
I guess not dodgeball. I've just been a big softball player my whole life. Always loved watching women's sports. So the GOAT pitchers, Lisa Fernandez, Jenny Finch, Kat Osterman, all of those types of people are like who I looked up to. Love women's college World Series time of year. Watch all those games. In dodgeball, I feel like definitely someone that like I hope to play like someday is Justin Pyen. Seeing the way he moves on the court, his no look throws. Like I remember being so new and just seeing him like look at one corner and hit the opposite corner in the foot. Is just wild, some of those throws, and he has a lot of moments that are like just they're just incredible. And because I get to play with him a lot in LA, I experienced it as a newer player, and that was like, you know, he's just someone that stood out to me as someone that I hope to play like someday.
Ashley, how about you?
Yeah, so like outside of dodgeball, similarly to you Lou, like a lot of the players that were in the sport that we participated in, but outside of that, I would say like Serena Williams, like she was someone that like embodied strength and like muscle, and like that's something that I largely identify with. And then like Diana Taurasi, like before she retired, like for me, she was like one of the goats of women's basketball. So definitely her. Um, for dodgeball, honestly, like a lot of the people that like made me like where I am now. So like Ryan, you were a big like portion of that. Sean, like a lot of the people that taught me the sport and like continue to like coach me or give me advice. Like I think you guys are like the people that I heavily rely on to like help me grow in the sport. But there are a lot of other great players too. Like what you mentioned, Lou, like Justin Pine, like he's a great player. Like different players that are, you know, have been in the game for years. I definitely will always watch them and look at them and try and compare my not compare myself, but figure out like what they're doing and how I can, you know, use their abilities and translate that into my own ability. So yeah, that's my answer to that question.
Good answer, ladies. All right, we got about 10 questions left. Let's kind of speed through these so Ashley can get to volleyball. Question from Shota. Ashley, why are you such a dog?
Says the dog himself. Says the dog himself. I appreciate that. But no, I literally why I am here and the player that I am is because of USA Dodgeball and the people that are in it and the players that play in it. Like I wouldn't be here without every person that plays and participate. Like everyone makes me better. It forces me to want to go there day after day and become a better version of myself. So it's not thanks to me, it's thanks to you guys because you guys make me want to be better as a player. So
Next question from Shota for Lou. Lou, you're one of, if not one of, I'm going to say that again. Another question from Lou. Lou, you are one of, if not one of the best catchers. Who else would you put in that category with you?
Um, Thanks, Shota. Awesome comment. That's pretty cool. To hear, you know, Shota say. I would say can't talk about good catchers without talking about Sam Greco, putting her up there.
oh yeah.
Amazing catches. She had amazing catches at Worlds, amazing catches in our finals games. I think she had 3 catches one game in our finals nationals. But also like Flex is a catching team. Like we have some catchers. We have Anna, we have Jesse, we have Carla, we have Allie. Like I think all of those people are in conversations when you talk about good catchers in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So go Flex.
Go Flex. All
Mm-hmm.
right, question from Amanda for both. I personally don't really like play calling if I can help it since I'm still learning. For you two, do you prefer coaching or to be coached, and why?
I love play calling. I always want to play call. I feel like I'm a play call hog. I think it works out for my team because I think one time I was like, does anyone mind that I always play call? And I think a couple people were like, no, we don't even want to think about it. It's so nice that you just do it all the time. So I'm lucky that I have players that are in that mindset because I do really enjoy play calling and yeah, and like taking on that leadership role.
Lou, you and I are the same person, I feel like, because I'm the same way. And I've noticed it after series. Like, I'll give my input, and then beforehand, I'm like, all right, let's go, whatever, on three. And now, Ashley noticed for sure, I'm like, hey, what does everyone else have to say? I want to hear from you guys. Because most of the time, it's like me, chant, next court.
But we're all listening and we're all locked in. So
Yeah, true. I feel like I don't know. I feel like a dad when I do that, so I don't like being that person. I mean, I do and I don't. But yeah, how about you, Ashley?
I'm the opposite. Lou, play call. I just put a ball in my hand and tell me what to do. That's how I move. That's how I operate. You know, I'll do it if I need to, but just give me the instructions and I'll make it work. So.
All right, we got a few questions from Garrett. Let's speed through these real quick. First question for Lou. Your success as a captain/leader for Flex has been incredible outside of just raw physical talent. Do you attribute anything else to the team's success? I think her computer might have froze.
Yeah.
I think I'm back though.
Oh, you're back.
She's back.
Yeah, I think that I caught most of the question though. Thank you for the question and comment because Flex, yeah, really successful nationals. Question was like, what led to success, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a couple things. First off, everyone was already good last year, but then we went to all these tournaments. Like everyone gets better and better each year. It's like that thing in dodgeball, like you don't know what you don't know because you could be so good and you can have all the talent, you have a great throw, but like you don't know strategy, like you don't know things until you're in a game and you're like, oh, that's what I should do in that moment. So like already having a good team and then just another year of experience under everyone's belt is just, that's a big difference. Like I went to 14 different tournaments this year. So that's going to make a change to anyone's game. And I'd also say our additions to the team really, really helped. Both having Bree, who is our most veteran player now, because we were a lot of younger players. Like even though I consider myself a veteran now, I've only been playing for like 5 years. Bree's been playing for 13 years. And I think having her veteran presence on our team really elevated our team too, with just things that we didn't think of. I think our very first tournament, she was like, hey, you guys don't call this enough, and just had some opinions that, like, well, how would we know? Because we're not veteran players. And that really elevated us. And the addition of Anna and Jesse, they're so great to play with. Their attitudes, their ability, you want to play with them. They're always happy. They're always smiling. They're like the best teammates. And they both come up with the best plays, like the best catches. So they really elevated the environment of the team with how positive they both are.
Yeah, shout out them. I've never played with Anna, but I have played with Jessie one time, and she was an awesome teammate, and I would love to share the court with her again. All right. Next question. What advice would you give to New York captains working on establishing a consistent USA level team?
Yeah, you have to make sure you have, well, good players, obviously, but also people who really gel, um, and who have the attitude, who want to get better, who want to learn. You don't need headstrong people. You need people who want to learn and want to build each other up. Is really key. And also, like how Bree made a big impact for our team. If you don't have that veteran presence on your team, it doesn't hurt to ask. Ask some veteran, hey, can you watch a game or two of our team? Let us know your thoughts. That was really, really helpful. And some of the things she said, I never thought of. Um, so that would be my advice. Kind of like with the outsiders, they have Shota coming in now as their coach. Like, genius. Why not have some outside person come in and really give advice for your team? So that's what I would say.
That's some good advice. I would also say too, as a captain, obviously you want to try to go to every tournament and have your team go as well. But if you can't, I would say try to hop on a team and pick things from them and bring it to your team. So it could be something that's good, but it could also be something that's bad. And you're like, hey, let's work on this. And I didn't realize we needed to work on it, but now I do. And let's finish with this question, and then we'll do closing thoughts or shoutouts. Question for Ashley. Ashley, how did it feel being on the opposite side of the court from Acid for the first time at Nutmeg Wednesday? From your observations, was there anything you thought we could have done better to combat you guys?
Um, right. All right, let's give away some cheats. Let's give away some cheats. No. First off, Acid is still an incredible team. I think for you guys, it's just a matter of figuring out how to play together more. If I'm gonna give any piece of advice, is to learn to play together. Play together as a team. Utilize plays that help you play together. The minute you guys start playing solo, um, it it's I think it puts you a little bit more at a disadvantage. But you'll figure that out as you go throughout the series. I think, playing on Wednesday was the first game. It was everyone's first day back, and we're playing foam, and we're used to baiting balls, but we're still playing with the different balls. So just give yourselves also a little bit more time to build that chemistry and find it. You know the popular plays, splits, kills. Utilize those plays more. And I definitely think you'll see a lot of success throughout the season.
I agree. And also same thing with like the experience and you guys being a not newer team, but having like newer players on this team. Just from something for me personally, like I think the first 3 games, I want to say we were down like 6-3, 6-2, 5-2, whatever. And we end up closing it out just because we were able to survive. But again, you guys are a newer team. So you guys are a good team. It's just a matter of time. But that is it. Sorry, I had to cut some of the questions short. Ladies, do we have any closing thoughts / shoutouts? Lou. Okay, Ashley.
Wait, is she gonna hear this before I start talking? Blue? All right. Yeah, um, first off, I want to give a big shout out to the entire USA dodgeball community. Like I was voted for Women's MVP, and that means the absolute world to me. And I don't like treat that very lightly. So I thank all of you for voting for me, and making me feel like a really solid player. But again, that goes back to all of you. I play with all of you. I go to these tournaments. We all travel and participate in these tournaments. So thank you to all of you guys. Shout out to my family, my parents, my girl, just everyone in general, my best friends, those that have supported me. Oh, Lou's back. Hey,
She's
Lou.
back.
um, and Nutmeg. And Ryan, shout out to you for having us on this podcast. Thank you so much for having us. We're extremely honored. I'm extremely honored to be here as a voice today. And yeah, shout out to everybody.
Hell yeah. Lou, any closing thoughts or shoutouts?
I missed Ashley's whole thing. I'm sure it was great. I'm happy to come on to say I'm really happy and honored to be here too. Thank you for having us, and just can't leave without being like shout out to Flex because I'm still on a nationals high, and that was pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Shout out you ladies. 7 medals right here. And my shout outs. Shout out the Yankees are playing the Red Sox right now. Aaron Judge just hit a home run. Yes, I'm multitasking right now. Shout out the Eagles. They play the Chiefs this weekend. Fuck the Chiefs. Go Birds. Shout out Jalen Brunson. Basketball's right around the corner. That's my Pookie. Shout out Twisted Tea.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
All right, ladies. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Peace.
Peace.